One more
For
for
the
the
home
road.
match, you mean?
For the one more for the home. Speaking of homes, let's get right into it. Okay. Emra. Emra.
Carlos,
Ay, 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 ay. Emra.
what'd you do Saturday?
Nothing. Just hung
Nothing,
around.
nothing of interest. None. All right, well, let's just turn it off.
Let's just turn
Let's
on. Thank you guys. Just hit that like, hit that subscribe button.
yeah, just we're done.
No.
Bell icon.
It was good. It was a good time. It was a great time. What did you guys even do? Well, you're gonna have to find out in these next few minutes. Uh, Welcome back to One Touch. It's Carlos and Emra giving back at you with some good insight on this weekend. So, Emra and I went to the home opener for Fort Wayne FC.
Yep.
And
New
we have
stadium.
new stadium. We have all the coverage to give you guys. We have all the pictures to give you guys. So let's start with the game itself. Fort Wayne played against Charlotte Independence, where they ended up tying 2-2. The first 16, 17 minutes were jam-packed with all 4 goals. So in the 3rd minute, we had our first goal by
Take Healy.
Thank you.
Yep.
First 4 minutes, Take Healy scored his goal. I think it was like a cross back over. So they somebody from like
Yep. So
defensive line drew it all the way up. I think Thiago Diaz then headed it into the
puts it
box.
back.
Yep.
Yep.
Heads it right back into the box. And then Take Healy was right there to receive it. Hits it in. Easy money right in the bank. Things were exciting. 1-0. Charlotte came back, hit him with the 1-1 on the 8th minute. And then Jaden Smith, who ran the right side of the field he was fast. He was nothing
quick.
but
He's
speed.
rapid. He's
Yeah.
rapid.
He basically beat his defender like he was not even
He
there
wasn't
in the
there. Like
first
he wasn't
place.
there. Yeah.
Took his space, crossed it into Lillian Ricol, and Lillian just he had a good hit, but I think there was the defender or the goalie
Yeah.
barely
There's a
had a
defender on the
touch.
line. Yep.
Barely had a touch, and Jane Smith came in to clean up basically. So then score was 2-1, and then Charlotte scored the 4th goal. A little bit of a defensive error from our end. I think there was a little bit of a mismatch there. The guy came around basically our defender and just hammered it in. So it was a 2-2 game. That was the first 16 minutes right there. It was like bam, 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 bam. And then I think we did a little bit of rearranging, kind of figured ourselves out. Fort Wayne FC then kind of had a more stronger kind of the defensive line.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out is that there are a lot of good saves by Shipman as well.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good saves. I remember.
Yeah.
I think I can recall 3 that were really good, and maybe even 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
there was he kept us in the match where it could have just become a goal fest that maybe we didn't want to get involved in.
yeah.
Like, like kind of like that. So like he kept us in the match. And then like you said, probably coach was probably telling them, "Hey, let's just tighten up a little bit. Try not to let in another goal, and then just let our offense kind of build from the back." And then going into the half, 2-2. At halftime, they're probably thinking like, "Okay, well, we know we can score here."
Mm-hmm.
Other teams probably thinking they can score and get the win as well. So I think it was really cagey at the beginning of the second half. And I feel like little by little, it just felt like Fort Wayne FC had a little bit more possession,
Yes.
and Charlotte wanted to play a little bit more on the counterattack.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
was very worried. I was very worried the entire second half, where I'm just like, oh my gosh, we're just kind of pinning them in. But at the same time, you always know, if you've watched enough soccer, you're like, sometimes that's just going to be your downfall. You
Well,
just
even
There's a counterattack. There's
yeah,
a counterattack, and they had a couple chances in a counterattack. There was
absolutely.
one chance where I think they really should have scored. Um,
Was it the one that was
they really
like
should have scored, but Oyatunde also had a chance in like the 49th minute. That was pretty good. He
mhm.
got like put in through on goal on the left wing. He kind of like, wants to hit it on the far post, curl it with his right foot, and keeper came out. Defender was closing in on him, so he just, couldn't slide it past him. But at towards the end, I just thought that we had just so many half chances, a lot of corner kicks as well, um, getting the crowd into it. Um, but yeah, it just ended 2-2 and sharing the points. What'd you think of what'd you think of the atmosphere in general?
It was really good. I think it's you never know. I guess you never know what to expect, right, from like a home opener like that.
Yeah.
But I think the crowd like really got into it. Like for example, like when they give them the slice of cheese, everyone was like, "Come on!" Like,
Slice of cheese.
they gave them the slice of
Slice
cheese.
of
Like, come
cheese.
on, man. And so I could feel the support from our team to or from our crowd to the
Supporters.
team,
Yep.
basically like reacting the way they should react, even if it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be like a foul or what, maybe it was a valid reason. We all
Yeah.
got upset because they even gave the yellow card, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Yeah, I think the
atmosphere
Three
to me,
Rivers
good.
yeah. I think Three Rivers Regiment did a good job of like leading the line in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like, getting the crowd into it, getting loud.
Yes.
When it's time to get loud, when obviously I think the rest of the crowd also knows when something's might happen.
Mm-hmm.
So like when there's one of our players are bearing down on, Charlotte's goal, you could just kind of feel like the tension in the entire stadium, like kind of like, whoa, like something's about to happen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we just couldn't get that third goal. We just couldn't get a winner.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a brawl that was happening that they got kind of like super excited about. So I think like just everybody reacted the way they had to react. I
Yeah,
don't know how to put it. The environment overall was like what I expected. It was
yeah.
incredible.
What I expected, classic. You go to a game. Your team is your team, so you're gonna root for them no matter what, even if
Yeah.
it was the correct call by the ref. You're just gonna argue it all day and
Yeah.
all day and night. So,
Yeah.
but in general, the team makeup. There was a couple substitutions came in.
Yeah.
Uh, One of them uh, I was not aware of until, well, we had just recently signed him, uh, Emerson Nieto, and
Yes, sir.
uh, he came on four-way native, so that was really cool to see. Actually, that we've got some Fort Wayne guys, some Northeast Indiana guys, like playing for Fort Wayne FC. I think
Yeah.
that's just incredible.
Yeah. So a little background about Emerson. So I was doing a little bit of research on Emerson, just because he is a Fort Wayne native. Number one, he played for IU. He actually the beginning of his look. It looked like from the beginning of his career, he played for Indiana Fire, which is like I think it's like a Chicago Fire, Indiana kind of like grouping. I didn't do too much research about the team itself, just because Indiana Fire then ended up sending him, or he got transferred over to Indy 11. So he played for
Ooh,
Indy 11 for a little bit, and he's been kind of bouncing back and forth. He's been kind of a free transfer. I think there was at one point he was like 75K sent over or transferred over to, um, I think like he's been to IUPUI. He's been to all
okay.
these different teams where
We
he's
know
gotten a
about
lot of
IUPUI.
experience. Yep. So we know about IUPUI. He's played for Indiana Tech as well. He's played for basically championship. He's been on the USL one before. He played for Fort Wayne FC before. I think he then got transferred out of Fort Wayne FC. Played for like Indy 11 again. His history is a little bit like back and forth, I'll say. So I'm gonna
Gotcha.
pull it up just to be a little more exact on this one.
Yeah.
Um,
But with that said, I'm really liking the makeup of the team. You
mm-hmm.
know, like we chatted with some players after the match, which I thought was really neat. We did get media passes for this match, so
Yeah.
with that said, Carlos and I got in pretty early. I feel like earlier than most people got into the stadium, and then um, while we're in the stadium, it felt like the construction was still going on. As we were in the stadium, they were moving things around, basically just clearing the concourse and making sure there's no safety hazards around. But once the
Yeah.
game got underway, you just kind of couldn't tell, aside from the fact that there were some seats missing on one side of the stadium. So as soon
Yeah.
as they get those seats done, and it's like a packed house, I think it's going to be like a really, really intimidating environment for the opposing teams.
The stadium itself, the whole thing, the game was great. Emerson got to play. We got to see Clarence. Clarence, he got injured. We got to see him hop back onto the field. He made a couple of great plays. He linked up with Lillian at some point. Like there was a pass, and Lillian, was getting. You can see him kind of cramping up at the end, but
Yeah.
the fact that he played the whole 90 minutes basically. Um, Overall, the game was great. The stadium looks absolutely beautiful. All right.
It
Obviously, they're
does.
still
It
working
really
on it.
does.
They're still working on it, and you were already touching on it, right? There's aspects of the stadium that are still being touched on. So you can kind of already see it in this picture here, where this whole section doesn't even have chairs. These sections down here are still working on putting chairs. The outside of the stadium, it's still like the visual. There's like supposed to be like panels that are supposed to be out there. Not
Yep.
quite there yet. But if you like look past that stuff, if you don't really mind the fact that there are not chairs there, the stadium is actually very, very beautiful. And
Yeah, it's
once
very
they
well put together.
yeah,
The concourse around the stadium or like around the pitch, it's really easy to navigate, obviously. So, um, yeah, I think they did a good job with like just the structure of the stadium itself.
and you can
Now
see
it's
the
just
potential.
finishing touches. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you can
sure.
see the potential of like where they're going with it. So I think the fact that they got it to this uh, stage for the home opener is, I think it's a victory. Okay, uh, but obviously there's still more to come. We got to get the chairs out
Yeah,
there. We got to get the people out there. And to me it was overall, regardless of like the gaming, like we didn't get the win. That's fine. I still had an incredible time going to it just because, it was a very beautiful game. And we said it in our last episode, Emerald. It's a very intimate place. You can feel the intimacy in the stadium.
yes,
You can like
yes. It's not like a giant, massive like. I've been to like what's the one in Atlanta? Mercedes Benz.
hmm
Like Mercedes-Benz Stadium,
yeah,
like, I've been
Mercedes
inside that
Benz.
one. That one, you just feel like an ant. Like, you just feel like a little tiny ant just roaming around that stadium.
hmm
Whereas here, you just kind of feel like it's, like, perfectly sized for you to walk around and do things and watch the game, go to the, fan shop, go to
hmm
concessions, and it just all seems like it's just right there,
yeah,
you know? Like, the pitch just seems like it's right there, like, if you were to just, like, walk 10 feet in front of you at any location, it almost feels like you'd land on the pitch.
yeah, exactly. Um, you can literally you can sit at the very top and it still feels like you're up
Yeah.
close. Like that's how
Yes.
incredible it is. Or if I go back to this picture here, right? Even if you stand here somewhere in the back section, you have a really good view to watch the
You
game.
really do. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You can sit up here, you have a great seat. You can sit down here, you have a great seat. You can be over here, great seat. And you can be in the supporter section, you have a great seat. It was all overall like really, really great experience. And I'm excited to go back because we're gonna be back out
I
there
am as well.
for the May 15th game. Actually, you're gonna be back this Wednesday,
May 16th.
May
May
16th. Sorry,
16th
May
is
16th.
Indy 11. So that'll be a interesting match for our guy Emerson, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be back Wednesday, Portland, Portland Hearts of Maine, not Oregon. There's a lot of Portlands actually in the U.S., but those are the two that I know for sure. But this is Portland, Maine. Wednesday, same thing, 7:30 kickoff. I'll be there as well as. Unfortunately, Carlos cannot make it Wednesday, but in his stead will be someone that just kind of actually looks very much like him. One could say it would be his brother. So,
Same last
yeah,
name,
we'll be around there.
same smile, same voice. Yeah. So, um, which brings us, okay, so that was the great experience. Now we do have to touch on others' experience. So I did get to talk to a lot of people. Okay. I actually even talked to some of the workers there, and I asked them a couple of the complaints that maybe people were making. Um, One of the first complaints that I heard was the seating situation. Obviously, we kind of touched on it. People were not so happy that uh, they had a seat location, but their seats weren't like there, or they couldn't find it. So, example, us 218, where
Hmm.
we went to wherever 218 was supposed to be, and there was no such thing as like a 218. So people were like
Yeah.
kind of upset about that. If you go past that, if you look past the fact that like, oh, I paid for a specific spot, and then you just kind of decide to like find a spot, you're going to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And so that's like the
Yeah.
first thing that people were complaining. I went to a worker and she even said, yeah, like XYZ sections were the most like reoccurring, like brought up
Mm.
like section
Yeah.
or question.
I think I think what happened a lot as well with you and I is because we had the media passes
Yeah.
and we had like the lanyard, and then there were people coming
They
up
were
to us because
they
they
were
thought maybe we
coming.
were staff because we have the lanyard, we have this little like placard on at the end of the lanyard,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Excuse me," and I'm just like,
I'm
actually,
just
this is just a media pass, but
they
like,
did do that to
what
me
seems to
too.
be the issue? I'd really like to know what's going on." And a lot of them were just like trying to find their seat, and I
Yeah.
told them, I'm like, "Well, your seat probably really isn't your seat this match,
Mhm.
but maybe, just maybe, in the next coming weeks, everything will be all completed and
Yeah.
they'll have that sorted out." So I do think the front desk was trying their best. I did have one guy, obviously in the bathroom, no less. Like one guy was just chatting away while we're doing our thing in the bathroom, and he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "They sent me an email earlier today that my I got moved around in the stadium." Because I was supposed to be originally in this section, but it's not done. So now I'm going to be in this other section.
Mhm.
And I was, oh, okay, that's good to know. So um, that's what happened inside the stadium.
Mhm.
Now there's probably other things, probably maybe more of a long term, perhaps issue of what happened outside of the stadium, which would be the traffic congestion and the
Yes.
parking. The
Yes.
parking, I think, was traffic and parking is kind of like a, two in one, two
Yeah.
in one combo there. Um, it just seemed like there were people coming from all directions off that road, right? Because there's that roundabout right there.
Yeah.
There's people coming from the east, west, and from the north in the roundabout. And then the final kind of fourth entrance or exit, however you want to think about it, of the roundabout is the parking lot entrance to Fort Wayne FC Stadium, or the parking. And luckily, Carlos and I, we were able to go in. We were able to go earlier, and we had media passes, so we were allowed to go park kind of a little closer to the stadium. Um, for the people that are planning on going to home matches at Ruoff, what do you want to say, Carlos? What do you want to say to them?
So
Any
my
tips?
yeah, my suggestion is, okay, we got there at like 5:30. When we
Okay.
entered, there wasn't that much traffic. We didn't have that much of an issue. Obviously,
No.
not everyone's gonna want to come at 5:30, right?
Yeah.
But maybe like a 6:30 like arrival would be fine as well. So if you guys want to, you guys are gonna come to the game. I would highly recommend just go in a little bit earlier. Expect that to be the problem. So that way it's a little bit spread out, because what it seemed like is that everybody was trying to get there between 7 and 7:30. And so like by the time kickoff happened, there people were still out in traffic trying to get into the place. So there
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of people. Once things settled down after like 30 minutes, 40
I would
minutes,
say 30 minutes.
30 minutes,
30
right?
minutes into the match, I could look around and I
There
could say
was
that, okay, this place is full now.
yeah.
This is like not at capacity, obviously, because there's some seats not sold, but for however many people were gonna show up, have showed up.
Yeah. So like
I still think long term their parking is gonna be an issue, but
yes.
that is an incredible photo. Who took that?
I don't know.
Uh,
I did. I
don't
did,
be
I guess.
shy.
I did. I
Don't be
did.
shy.
All right, I did it. I
Um,
did it. I
it's
did
that's
it.
actually a really nice photo.
Yeah.
That sky, that was the bluest that sky's been for like a week. Like it was so dreary all week, and then all of a sudden it just like got really nice outside, and like the kickoff was like shining,
Yeah.
sunshine and blue skies, and I was just very surprised at that. But
Well, it
I
was
think long term there the parking might be an issue because
yes. Yeah,
I just
that's
don't know
not
if they have enough parking spots.
I think
I
that's gonna be
genuinely
something.
don't know. Like
Yeah.
you have to think about it. 9,000 and some odd capacity plus all the staff that are working, so you're talking over 10,000
Mm-hmm.
people are going to be at this location for anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Is that parking lot they have big enough to sustain that?
Right.
What
So
are their remedies for that? So,
the you can kind of see the seating section. That is what it looked like when the kickoff happened. So
yes.
it was like that. But by the time like everyone settled in, the stadium was like that whole section, which is like the seated area that's completed, was full. Like it looked full. So um just fully expect, if you guys are going to go out to the games, you guys are going to continue to go out to the games. Um, please still come out, support Fort Wayne
Yeah.
FC. Seriously,
Oh yeah.
you guys will not regret it.
It's so fun.
It's
It's
really a
so
great
fun.
time.
I
Just
I
know
told
that that's a
people,
problem. Know that that's a problem.
yeah. I told people if that's going to stop you from going to the match, then like you weren't that excited to go to the match in the first
Yeah.
place. Like if you're like, okay, I don't want to go anymore. Um, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you anymore.
Yeah, definitely. So don't let that discourage you guys. I know they put out an announcement basically apologizing for the situation. I think for some
Yes, they
people
did put
they're
out a statement.
refunding their money. They're even giving them vouchers, like a $10 voucher for the next game that they come out to. And at least for me, I'm not going to be very discouraged to not go. Like I'm going to continue to go. I will probably do like the earlier time slot to get there as early as possible, just so we don't run into that issue as well. Again, we didn't run into that problem just because we were there early and we kind of left a little bit late. And so we hardly even, if you wouldn't have told me there was traffic, I wouldn't even have known, to be honest with you. But I know that's not the story for everybody. I do hope people continue to go out, and that's all we can do at this point. Once they get
Yeah.
this completed, and once they get the parking situation, and I'll say the traffic situation, because honestly, it's parking and then entryway into the parking. So I'll call
Hmm.
it twofold, like you said, Imra. Then this is going to be incredible every single time. Every single time. So the guys need the support. Let's go out there. Let's support them. Because,
Uh,
if it were me, I'd be hyped to get that many people to come out and watch us.
I was very excited for the home opener, but thinking about it, I'm more excited when it gets warmer and it's actually like really nice to walk around in like a t-shirt or like a jersey and
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah, because it
Because
was so
I was
cold.
bundled up. I was so cold. Carlos bought a beanie,
It's-
and I was like, Carlos, give me that beanie. Give me that
This-
beanie right now. Yeah, he bought that beanie right there. And I said, Carlos, give me that beanie right now. My ears are about to fall off. So it was freezing. But once it warms up and people, can like, actually buy the Dippin' Dots ice cream that they have. and
Yeah.
enjoy like a cold beer without like it being 40 degrees outside, then it's going to be really, I think it's just going to be fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah, agreed. Let us know in the comments below, guys, what you guys experienced. If you guys had a great experience, if you guys had a terrible experience, let us know down below. We'd like to know. Maybe that's something that we can give feedback to Fort Wayne FC. I think they're trying their best. I think they did their best into getting this to happen. And
they're learning,
and they're trying to work with everything. Okay, they're not trying to do this from a malicious standpoint. I'm pretty sure they're not trying to do this in any way to hurt anyone. So I think giving them that feedback, saying, hey, look, this is what I deal with, I'm sure they would love to hear that kind of thing. So keep liking, keep subscribing, guys. We appreciate you guys continuously watching our channel and following us. And until next time, so thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.